I don't know how many people are familiar with wines, but one of the kind of good rules of thumb is if you're having something for your meal that's spicy, it's good to pair it with a wine that might be on the sweeter side. So a good option for that is a Riesling. So this is a 2020 vintage one from Mosel, Germany, called Clean Slate. And it's actually, those familiar with Rieslings can tell that this is not like a traditional Riesling bottle. It's kind of more marketed towards the North American market. And so that's kind of reflected in the more traditional bottle shape. You know, it has a twist on cap instead of a cork. I ended up having this up at college and I quite enjoyed it. And I'm a big fan of Riesling, so it did tickle my fancy. So.
Absolutely. Well, thank you. So let's taste it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not what I expected, because we had gone up to the Finger Lakes last fall and we tried some Rieslings there and a variety of different kinds. Yeah. But this one, I gotta taste it.
Yeah, I mean the second sip's going to be better because that way you've kind of had the acidity.
To me, it's almost reminiscent of a Sauvignon Blanc in some ways, just because of the citrus and some of the minerality. It's delightful. I really like this.
Yeah, no, it's and this is for those interested. This is not that expensive of a Riesling too, which is great. So very affordable, and I quite enjoy it. So
as you can see, we have everything in the packaging, because part of it, what I think is important when you're doing takeout is kind of how it's coming, the packaging. Everything felt very warm when it got here. I will say my only complaint is that we had ordered the food to be delivered between 6:20 and 6:40, and it came like at 6.
A little early.
So we were kind of...
To be fair, though, so was it through a delivery service?
Yes, but you can specify on there the times.
Yeah, but
I ordered it like an hour ago.
Sometimes the issue... So I actually used to work for a delivery service, and one of the issues is... the restaurant might have like an expected,
oh dear.
Not cut too well.
Did not go well.
Restaurants might have like an expected busyness at a certain time. So, the service might try to compensate for that by, determining when it wants to send that order to the business. So.
Yeah.
What might have happened is a typical, Wednesday might be a little busier for them. And it just wasn't the case this Wednesday.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's necessarily on the restaurant. I mean, it might be, I don't know.
Yeah.
But that also could be more on the delivery service. So
that's why we decided to speed up the start time so that it wouldn't get cold.
Yeah.
So we are going to actually, before we can dig into our ramen, you can see, which I think any place that serves pho or udon soup or ramen or any of those, I always appreciate when they have things separate, because that way your noodles aren't getting mushy, and so the broth is separate from the noodles and all the goodies that are inside. But we love a good pork bun, so we did want to try the pork bun, and just to kind of show you, if you can see kind of what that looks like.
Closer to camera while you continue to talk.
And so I broke this into 2 pieces, so I'm going to put one on yours. I'll put the less messy one on your plate. There you go. You can see I had a little trouble cutting, but that's totally fine. By the way, if you are joining us, please feel free to say hello in the chat and let us know where your favorite place to have ramen is. But we're going to try the pork bun first. So it's nice. And you can choose crispy or soft, which I was surprised. I've always gotten them soft.
Oh, like for the bun part?
Yeah, I thought that was really interesting.
I didn't know that was even a thing. They're definitely soft.
Dripping. Watch out. Very good. The pork is really yummy.
Yep.
There's some, I think, like a pickled onion in there, which is delightful. Simple. And there's some sort of mayo.
Oh, yeah.
As well.
Yeah, I guess there is. You can kind of see it.
Very nice. Sometimes bao buns can be, depending how they're put together can be, I found at some places on the dry side, so it's nice that little mayo, it gives it some moisture, and that onion was nice.
I will say, because I've had a few bao buns in the past, I don't know if it's really like the softest I've ever experienced from a Asian food place, but they're not like dry. That's not to say that. So they're pretty good.
Yeah, pretty good. Not a nice start. Yeah. So why don't we first just get our and so by the way, so the 3 ramens we're trying, yours was called Tam Tam or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. So it's with a how was the meat prepared?
Well, I picked the pork for you. I didn't know what you wanted.
But it's it's ground. Minced.
Minced.
That's the word they use. So it's I got the Tam Tam with minced pork.
And so it comes like this, as you might be able to see. The meat is sliced out, and then there's that lovely egg, which I always look forward to, and yours is minced. Yep. And I got the Terakawa,
kind of a big chunk.
like just their regular special, and then we also got the spicy ramen that I will be trying as well, because that Andy and I love to share and split, so we got 2 different ones so that we can try each of them.
Some
Doesn't
large
look nice?
Pieces of meat. Yeah.
Yes. Oh, the meat is just. And I can't think of the name of the meat right now, but there's a name for it, and it's escaping me right now. But it's always delicious.
So I got to be careful with mine, because this is a.
If you want to do it over at the
bright
sink,
color.
if you feel.
Oh no, I think I'll be fine.
And this is a beautiful creamy broth. Look at that.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
It's gonna.
I'm just gonna pour this on. Oh my word, that looks so yummy. Okay.
Did you? Okay, so you did all of it. I just want to make
sure. I put
fit.
it all in. Yeah. I mean, they designed it that way, so that that's gorgeous color.
Yeah, it is.
So.
Fortunately, cannot pick it up to show it now. That might create a mess.
So I will tell you, this is creating a little bit of anxiety for me, because I'm trying to think how to describe it, because I don't know if anyone else has been in my shoes, but this brings me back to like when I went on some of my first dates, and you're just terrified to eat in front of a boy, or vice versa, someone that you're on a date with. I'm just breaking up the noodles a little bit so that they can come apart. So I'm just going to do that a little bit. So that they're kind of sticking.
Yep.
Yeah, so the noodles are sticking a little bit. I'm not really sure why.
So I wonder if they're like, if they're almost like not fully done on purpose.
I'm sure. Why
it's probably just because they've been.
So we're gonna challenge it so we can get these kind of worked through, because they're kind of like one big mass.
Yeah, I'm gonna use my spoon to
now. I will say there was another place nearby that we've gotten ramen before. I don't think you've gotten ramen there, but it's Tomo Sushi and Ramen in Philly. I don't remember this happening with them, so maybe this is a typical thing that happens with ramen. So if you find this to be the case.
And did you get that other place takeout? Or was that, like, did you go
Takeout.
Okay,
yeah,
interesting.
Takeout. Yep. I was takeout. So, just needs to work through.
I've kind of gotten at least a good portion of them loosened. So hopefully that'll be okay. But anyways, I've lost. Oh, but so the idea of eating in front of people has never been my thing. And here I am, like, cooking, and the cocktails are fine because taking a sip is not a problem. But like, this is so out of my comfort zone, because not only am I eating in front of the camera, but it's ramen noodles, and it's with chopstick. Oh, this is really So this is, we gotta be careful, we're gonna get the soup all over us. Like, it is kind of a brick. So I want to ask real quick.
Yeah, please.
Before we get into some more of this, is there any stuff on here that we should start with?
Actually, I'm glad you brought that up. So what we're going to be rating the meal on is, we put Friendliness in case we go pick it up directly or talk to them on the phone for any reason, just to get the vibe. Yeah. If there's no opportunity for that, we take that off. But packaging, portion, presentation, meaning how it looks when you open it. It's not like after you put it together. It's like when you open it. Aroma, temperature, texture, taste, and then we give an overall. So, so the packaging was appropriate packaging.
Yep.
The
only thing I'll say is that, so for one of the soup containers, and I mean, I know that these are probably a little bit standard, and this is just like one of the things you deal with takeout, but our spicy broth, which is very red, was leaky a bit. So we actually have like a paper towel under it just in case, decide to get on the table.
So I think before I have my first bite, I'm going to just take a taste of broth, and you're welcome to do that too.
I will do the same.
Wow. I want you to take a taste of the broth. This. You need to take this. This is so delicious. Yeah. The broth itself. If you want me to use a new spoon, I can. It's such a good broth. Like rich.
Oh wow, yeah.
It's a creamy looking broth, but that obviously it's not that cream.
You want to taste this, or are you gonna wait?
Yes. No, I'll taste it now.
So I will say, so this broth was described as like a mild spiciness, which I think is a perfect description. Like it's there, but it's not like overpowering.
Oh, it is overpowering.
Yeah, it's very
on a scale of 1 to 5. What would you say?
On one, I would say like a 1 or a 2. Like I don't, at least on my scale, I'm not like crazy. Like I'm not like I can't tank through spiciness, but I'm also not like hypersensitive. So
I will say let's do 2 because I think there's some people that are ultra sensitive.
Yeah. So yeah,
so
2.
I think 1 would be like literally almost no spice.
Yeah.
Okay. So now.
But yeah, I would say no higher than a 2, personally.
So the noodles are perfect, even though they were a bit of a brick and had to be
loosened up a bit.
Loosened up. They're cooked. For me, at least mine seem cooked really well. I'm going to taste the meat.
Yeah, I agree with my noodles as well. They're not like overdone or underdone.
That pork belly is so tender and so flavorful. Great seasoning on it. Like this would be a really satisfying meal.
And this minced pork is
that good?
Also really good. There was a kind of a nice chunk of it that I was able to get, so that was a pretty good reflection, I think.
And I'm going to save that egg for later. I think I'm going to...
Oh, so yours actually has an egg.
Yeah, it has that's the typical... A lot of ramen have that half of a jammy egg, which is just wonderful.
Besides the ramen and minced pork, so mine had the green onion and then, what are these again?
Bean sprouts.
Bean sprouts.
So. Yes.
Which... Personally, I'm a little bit picky, and I'm not like the biggest fan of, but that's not to discredit how they are. So,
and I should remember what's all in mine. I know there are. This I think was ginger. Let me taste. Oh no, that's bamboo. That's bamboo shoots or sprouts or whatever they're called.
Interesting.
Green onion, the egg, the pork belly, and then. I can't remember what the brown things were. And there was, I think, a little bit of radish, too, that was shredded up. But very, very yummy. And what I'm noticing is because when they gave, kind of a way to rate your preference for saltiness, I feel like it's... I sometimes watch my salt, so I might try. They're less salty just to see if I miss it. But I don't feel... Like, sometimes when I get... Asian soups, they can feel really salty, and this one I think feels very like it should.
Yeah, it's very well balanced.
Super flavorful. I think my only issue is just that. So if I'm being honest, the temperature. So we received it, and then I don't know, like started maybe 5 minutes after I brought it up. So. The temperature, I think, I wished it had, and I don't know if they can control that all, but I wish that it had been hotter so that I think it would have broken up the noodles more easily.
Yeah, I think that's true.
And it's not like we delayed a lot getting into it. So I probably wish it was a little warmer so that, because right now it's just warm soup. It's not really, mine doesn't feel like temperature hot. It feels more than warm, but not even.
It's not like...
Oh, it's not cold.
Yeah, like I think it's fine. Right. But yeah, it's not like, that's also one of the sacrifices that you end up making, I guess, with takeout to a degree is It's not going to be like, when you get it from the restaurant, it's, piping hot.
So I'm going to have you pass me the spicy ramen so that I can try that.
Just the bowl?
Yes. Okay. And then I'll do the sauce, and you can bring
I will just slide it.
Actually, or slide it. That's good. So this is the spicy ramen. I can smell the spicy. Oh my goodness. So this looks really good. So it has those brown things, which I'm not sure what they are. It has the meat. This is like, I wonder if there's like kimchi. There might be kimchi there. So the jammy egg, some green onions, the brown, which I don't remember what that is. If that's like a seaweed or mushroom. But with the kimchi, you can smell the spice and the funk, which is awesome. So I'm very excited about that. I'm gonna get this poured in. Nice. There we go. I'm gonna need to break up the noodles again. Let's make it that in there. So you had, oh, that's interesting. You know what I find interesting is I thought that mine was gonna be coming with your wavy noodles because that's what it had in, oh, that is interesting. So, okay, so what's a surprise is that I got the different noodles than I expected. So when you look up Spicy Ramen, it says it comes with these, I should have noticed it, these white straight noodles. That was in the Terakawa Ramen, which it's not billed at. So the noodles got switched, which, I mean, in the end of the day, I don't care. But if I was you, if I was ordering this, I would make sure in your notes to specify which noodles you wanted, because I was just going with default with what was in the description, and I didn't get what was in the description. They were different on both of them. So I think I would just be specific. I wanted to order it just like if I was just doing it the first time, which it was, and just to kind of see how it would come, and it didn't come how expected. So it's not the terrible thing, but I just would, if I was really wanting the wavy noodles and I thought by ordering it standard it would come with it, I would be disappointed if I didn't get the wavy noodles. So this has the wavy noodles, that's the straight noodles. I was expecting it the opposite. That's how it's listed on their on DoorDash where you order it. It's listed the opposite. So, but there is room to specify. So if you're ordering and you want the noodle that it comes with in the title, make sure you specify that. So I'm going to taste the broth first. Do you want to taste this broth? This is the spicy, because you like spicy. There you go. And I like that they both have jammy eggs, so that means both Andy and I should get a jammy egg.
Oh, I got some. Oh, yeah. Oh, that just kind of hit the back of my throat. Oh, God, yeah.
Woo!
That hit the back of my throat. Yeah, so that's definitely a little bit higher on the spicy scale.
That's definitely higher. Now, I won't say 5 because if it was 5.
Oh, yeah. I wouldn't say.
If it's 1 to 5, then it would be the top.
Yeah, I would say 3 or 4.
Probably 3. Yeah, depending on your spice level.
Yeah.
If you tolerate spice well, I call it a 3.
Yeah.
If you don't tolerate spice well.
Yeah, if you're sensitive, I'd probably say this is closer to a 4. Yeah. But I think if you're used to spiciness, it would be like a 3. Which again makes sense because this is literally the spicy one, whereas this is just.
Ooh, that second bite was a little spicier than the first bite.
Oh yeah.
And I think the kimchi too.
Wow.
It's still not a 5. It's it just I think this for me probably will flirt depending on the bite you get between 3 and 4. Very good, very tasty. This one has a mixture of a couple broths. I think there's a part of it is a seafood broth. There's no chunks of seafood in there, but seafood broth. So that does come through, that kind of like from the sea saltiness. And that has spice. That definitely has spice. I'd be more inclined. Oh, this will be good with it. I'd be more inclined to say, to be safe, a 4, just because I just feel like I know a lot of people that just aren't as comfortable with spice as we are, but delicious. Has flavor, and the spice lingers for sure. It's so funny. So, but like if you had a cold, this would be awesome because you get everything going.
Clear you right out.
Or if it was winter, especially, like this one's called my name more because it's just total comfort, but this is delicious. And we do like spice. And there's times I'm really in the mood for spice. So the noodles here came apart more easily. You had the wavy ones, right?
Yep.
those straight ones.
That's
Considering all of ours were kind of like a bit of a brick, the straight ones were harder to get loose. Cooked perfectly. The noodles were cooked perfectly, saying regular. They're al dente, regular. So if you like that, then order regular. If you want it softer, order soft. I would say if I had to choose, I don't know. I probably, of the three we got, I'd probably say, like, I like this one best. That one, they're all different. That one second, this one third. Not because it wasn't good, but it have to be, it definitely has a bit more of aggressive spice, which is delicious. I'm glad we're splitting it because then we can get some of each. I'm going to start with this and then end with that. Okay, so
I've already
Okay.
did all my notes. So, but yeah, I would say, and maybe I'm biased because this is what I actually ordered, but I think I definitely like this the most. Not that the broth. Thank you, Shelby. Our wonderful dog Shelby is under here licking my leg. Anyways, so not to say that the one that you ordered was like a bad broth, but I actually liked that the kind of mild spiciness gave the broth just a little bit more zing. Also, I guess I can't really speak for the rest of each of these since I only tried the broth, but I did really enjoy the texture of the ground pork. And Shelby's still licking.
I'm sorry, I gotta tell you, I don't know if you all can see it. Oh, you can't see. See where our dog is right there?
Yeah, she's
licking his knees.
Yeah.
So Shelby, our old lady, is a licker, and so she's just sitting here. Shelby, no, go lay down. Shelby, go lay down.
you.
Go lay down.
All done.
Go lay down. All done. Nope. Go lay down. Nope. Shelby, go lay down. Go lay down. Go on. I'm telling you, whenever we stream, she's just like wants to be a part of it. So if you can see in our glass table, she's right down there.
We kind of have
I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Oh no, you're
hysterical.
fine. We actually kind of have a running theory that when she realizes we're talking to nobody,
go see Daddy. Go see Daddy.
Go. We have a running theory that when she knows we're talking to nobody or a camera or whatever, that she knows that we're streaming and knows that food's going to come.
Yeah. So she gets distracted.
Can you call her?
Yeah, would you call her just around here? So finishing up.
Just laid down.
Oh, she's fine. She's being good. So let's share our numbers.
Okay. So I don't know if I'm going to be harsh or not.
It's okay.
So
you just be you.
This will be interesting.
Okay, let's just do them one at a time. We'll each tell.
Okay.
So we didn't do friendliness because that was not.
Yeah. So I just put NA.
Yep. Packaging.
So packaging, I did a 4 because I thought for the most part it was fine. But again, you had one thing that was a little bit leaky. And I mean, that could have just been a fault of just overfilling a little bit.
Yep. And there's really nothing more they could have. I mean, if you really wanted to zhuzh it up, maybe it could be better. But other than that,
just like have nicer packaging or something. But I mean, at the end of the day, like I imagine that most like places, especially like in the city, are going to be
packaged similarly.
Yeah, exactly.
I agree.
So
I mean, I feel like a 5. It has to be like knock my socks off.
Exactly.
I
was gonna say it sounds like it.
How about portion? Oh, my word.
I also did a 4 for portion. And the reason I did that is it's like a good portion, but it's, there's certain places where it's like you have a meal for like the next 2 days,
I agree. It doesn't exceed like what you would expect. So it's lovely. It's great. It's
I don't feel robbed.
Yeah.
Like I think this is perfect for a meal, but like I'm not gonna have leftovers.
I would agree.
So.
And then presentation.
So I said 5. Now I don't really have the context of.
Of ramen.
Yeah, exactly.
This is his first.
I'm only kind of just kind of delving into ramen. So I thought it all looked really good. I thought especially yours looked fantastic. I didn't really get a good look at this one.
So I put a 4. It was great, but here I'm going to give. Let's pass this to your dad.
Yeah, some of that.
I know, but we got to warm these back up. So.
What's that?
Because we got to split the because we're going to be finishing, so just enjoy that.
I'm just going to drink wine over
here. You should. You can see him pouring the wine there. Just save little seconds for us. So I put a 4 because it was nice. It didn't. It was. And I don't want no right there on the glass table. There you go. Good. Because a 3 would be average. It was nicer than average, but again, I've seen ramen is supposed to be presented this way. It was nice. It wasn't like the top tier that I would expect. So Aroma. So I'll start. With Aroma, I gave it a 3, and that's not to knock it. It's first of all, there weren't a lot of smells except for the spicy one.
I actually just changed that because I think I was immediately skewed when you mentioned that, and I was like, I hadn't really smelled anything, but then like I was smelling mine, and again, it's not that it like smells bad or anything.
No, it's not a negative.
But it's just it smells.
But it doesn't like. Sometimes you have food, that you just sit there and you're like, oh, this is intoxicating.
Like, and you just want to keep smelling.
Yeah, and this doesn't smell bad. That is not, but it's just, it wasn't like, I feel like it just smells like ramen. So, and it's not meant to be a negative. I don't want to feel like it was like over the top.
Yep.
Temperature, I put a 3 because we mentioned, at least I put a 3, because we mentioned how we felt like it could have been a little warmer. And so I felt like a 4 wouldn't be fair for that. I felt like a 3 was what I wanted to do.
So I did put a 4. So I guess the way I was envisioning it in my head is like 5 would be like piping hot, like it came from the restaurant, like they just walked it out of the kitchen and brought you. 4 would be like, yeah, it's not piping hot, but like it's still serviceable. Whereas like 3 in my head would be more like, it's warm, but like, it's where, and then like 2 would be like, yeah, it's like room temperature, and like 1 would be like it's cold.
Okay.
So I give it a 4
I gave it a 3.
temperature.
For
but I can see why.
I
see why
I gave it a 3.
By the way,
Texture.
this was good.
Texture, because we need to finish so we can finish. You need to stop eating so that we can finish our rating because we're waiting to eat.
I guess you can probably already guess where I'm going to go for taste.
No, texture.
No, I'm saying coming up based on my eating.
And this is his first ramen, so he's super excited.
Oh, you want me to go?
Yes.
So texture, I gave 5. I really, it's funny. So I'm not big on what were the scripty things?
Oh, bamboo
No,
sprout.
in mine.
Oh no, bean sprouts. Mm-hmm.
So I'm not really even big on bean sprouts, but I mean, I thought like that with the smaller kind of pieces of the minced pork, interspersed within the broth and the green onion, and like again, I thought the noodles were done perfectly. I gave it a 5. So
I gave it between a 3 and a 4, and the reason I did, and so I'll determine before we post these which I'm going to do. The reason I gave it between a 3 and a 4 was not the noodles were done perfectly. It was because I felt like it was really hard adding the broth to the noodles. And so I don't know if the noodles had just been sitting around for a while, so they kind of stuck to each other. So that was the only reason I gave that a little lower. So I got to think about which one to give. But it wasn't a reflection on the noodles not being done perfectly. It was more just that it was really hard, as you guys saw, as really getting it going, which when we had ramen at the other place, that wasn't an issue. Yeah. So that was
no, I could see that.
So I think it was more of a and I'm, I imagine for dinner time, and this is a popular place, that they have a lot of bowls ready to go, and that might have been the issue. However, I think if you're getting it fresh in the restaurant, that's not going to be the case. No. So that would be my only beef with it. And then lastly, taste.
So I give taste a 5.
It's his first ramen, so of course.
So
he's never had this.
I thought again, this is at least reflecting on my bowl ramen. I thought the flavor was great.
We'll make sure and let Dad have a taste.
I really enjoyed the broth.
Yeah, it was a nice just having that slight spice to it.
And I mean I thought the pork tasted excellent.
And I gave it a 4. I thought it tasted excellent. I feel like I'm saving my 5 because I've had ramen before, so I'm saving my 5 for a ramen that really knocks my socks off. Now, the first one that I had, if I have the wavy noodles, I might, and it's hotter, that might take it to a 5 for me. So I'm wondering if some of those other portions kind of contributed for it, just like giving me my effects of the taste.
Yep.
But it tasted delicious. It was delicious. I would definitely order from here again. So then just looking visually, I would look at my scores and think my overall is probably a 3.75.
And I said mine was a 4.
A 4. So. Okay. So it's a great score. I highly recommend Terakawa Ramen. I'm going to be ordering from again. And maybe we'll even try to go there. It's not like a huge place, but just because then we could have it fresh and piping hot. This is excellent, but it is spicy, so I'm glad that we are splitting it, sweetie, because we're going to eat the spicy first, and then we'll eat the other one so we can cool down. But the Terakawa, like their it's called number one choice, the one that is like their special, is excellent, and I can see me wanting that again. This one is amazing. This one's good, just it's super spicy.
Okay.
So
I'm looking forward to it.
yeah, so thank you so much for joining us. Happy Hump Day, and as we mentioned on Saturday, we are, or not Saturday, wait, Friday. Oh, did I put Saturday?
I don't know.
Okay, I don't know what I put. So our ramen, or TikTok ramen, our ramen trends, TikTok trends, it's going to be Friday lunchtime.
We're doing that this Friday.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So we're going to show you 3 of our favorite trends, and we're going to try them out and show them and share the recipes and everything like that.
And that at the lake?
Yep, that's going to be at the lake. Now, we will be away, as hubby mentioned, at the lake. So if there are some, what would I say, connection problems, we'll do our best. Fingers crossed this all works out, because I'm excited about the ramen stream. If for some reason it's a complete fail, then we will just do it again sometime. But follow me on Philly Live on Twitter to get the latest on that schedule for that, because I might have put it wrong in my schedule I just posted. I don't remember if I put it for Friday or Saturday. And it'll be around lunchtime, but I'll have to take a peek. So, and then next week it's going to be, you're fine because I just had 2 bites. You had a whole one, we only had a half. So next week it'll be a cocktail stream, and I think it's the Paloma, so I have to check. But my schedule is listed on Twitter, so be sure to check it out. And thank you, Matt, for doing this with me. Cheers.
No problem.
And I'm going to finish eating. And until we eat again, have a great week.